Welcome everyone to She-Hulk episode 4. This is the sex positive horny forward episode of the show. That's what they've been calling it. That's what the head writer's been saying, and she actually kind of gave this entire episode away in an interview that happened back in August. So, we're going to get right into it. Aren't you guys glad that it's horny forward?
Horny forward. What
What
does
does
that
that
even mean?
Well, I thought you guys do. It's what the hip kids are saying nowadays, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Forward.
yeah. Those hip kids like Jessica Gao, she's a hip kid now.
Have you ever used
Yeah.
that term in your life? I'm so glad this show is horny forward.
I have
Never.
never even heard that term or that phrase, that turn of phrase,
No.
horny forward.
Dare you.
Is that supposed to mean it's okay to be horny? This is a horny positive episode. You don't need to be ashamed to be horny.
Like, what are you trying to say? Like, one night stands are cool, everyone.
Yes,
Teach the
exactly.
kids.
That's exactly what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed to have a one night stand. It is totally fine.
Yeah, just smash.
Just
Like
smash.
She-Hulk.
Yeah,
No.
just smash.
Listen, Hulk smashes, She-Hulk smashes.
There's your title for the video,
Yeah.
Jay. Just smash.
Just smash!
Just
like,
smash! Yeah.
like the
She-Hulk,
She-Hulk.
smash!
Well, the show was kind of bland and boring, and it doesn't really progress anything except for the last 2 minutes of the show. But we'll go through a quick rundown of what we saw. Starts off with this guy, Donnie Blaze, who's a terrible magician performing at a show in front of 12 people.
Yeah.
And he realizes the crowd is bored, and he's like, well, I'll do something special. I'll bring up a girl named Madison with 2 Y's, or 2 N's and a Y. Is that
2
it?
N and
It's
Y,
not where
but
you think.
listen, the Y's not where you think it is. Yeah.
What does that mean?
I really don't know. I don't understand any of what this
In the
show's trying to
spelling?
do.
In the
Yeah.
spelling of it, yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
What an intro.
Yeah.
Madison with 2 N's and a Y, and the Y's not where you think it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, he picks her to come up, and you could see he puts on the special magic ring that Wong and Doctor Strange use, and he opens
so
up a
nice.
portal and sends her in, and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden we get to Wong. Yes, Wong is back again, everyone, and he's watching The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Big fan. Just
He's
Yeah.
a big fan,
He's binging The Sopranos.
even
Well,
though that
I-
show's been spoiled for years now.
No, that it says up the episode, yeah, where like Johnny opens up or
Yeah,
Donnie yeah.
Yeah, he opens up the portal. Madison goes in, and then she needs to get back to where she's at. That's explained later, but she does appear through another portal in Wong's living quarters at
Where he's
Kamatage.
watching The
Yeah.
Sopranos,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she just makes herself at home.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately Wong looks at the camera and goes, Donnie Blaze is going to pay for that.
Yeah, because she spoils
Yeah.
the episode for him. That's why
So-
he's gonna pay for it.
Yeah,
That's
he gets
right.
super mad about it. Yeah.
That's when he's gonna do something about it. She
He
spoiled
spoils the episode of Sopranos. Oh, my God. It's so...
Oh.
Wong is like the supreme guy, right? He's supposed to be out protecting. You think he'd be a little busy,
Mhm.
doing superhero stuff. But, of course, no, this is a comedy show about an attorney, which she has to go to court in every episode. So then we get to Jen here, and she looks at the camera and says, you look happy. I guess you saw that Wong is back.
I like how she says that, right? You look happy. Like, oh God, we're watching She-Hulk again.
Yeah. She almost
Oh,
is like making fun
Wong
of
is
herself.
back.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, they're very
she's like,
self-aware
yeah.
that nobody's going to like this show.
Yeah, I know I'm not a likable character, but I mean at least Wong's here. Cool.
So what happens is she goes to work, and Wong shows up and was like, I need your assistance. I need to stop this guy, this terrible cheap magician who is using the ring, and he's causing problems. So let's take him to court. Even though Wong could go to Donnie Blaze himself, literally cut the man's hand off, remove the ring because he's causing problems, or force him to give the ring back, or force him to stop using the magic, saying, I'm going to lock you up, or do anything. No, he decides to call She-Hulk, attorney at law, to get a cease and desist.
And it's not like we haven't seen that done either. In the first Doctor Strange movie, in the after credits, I don't know, I can't remember what his name is, but the villain, I guess, no, he wasn't a villain. He turns into a villain. I can't remember his name.
Aaron Mordo.
Yes, thank you. He goes to that guy and he takes away his magic, because there's too many too many sorcerers.
Yes.
Well,
Right?
yeah. We also have seen like Doctor Strange has telekinesis, and he can just like take your ring off your hand if he wants. But
Yeah.
Wong apparently can't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Wong needs She-Hulk attorney at law to do
Need
it.
to go to court.
It's
yeah, gotta go to
it's
court.
such a strange way to incorporate Wong, because he can go
Mhm.
there and take care of it himself. It's
Yeah.
it's a sorcerer issue technically, but no, like he has to go to
He's
It
the
make-
Supreme.
Yeah.
Why is he
so-
wasting all this time in a courtroom in a law office saying, hey, let's go do subpoenas, let's go do this, let me sit around in court all day? No. He could
No.
just easily boop, boop, I'm done. Because
Yeah.
in the previous episode, when he was supposed to testify, he was late. He's doing stuff. He's like, I'm busy. He comes in, testifies, and he leaves. But now he
Mhm.
has all the time in the world to be like,
Yeah.
let's take a low-level magician to court. So they go to court and they call Madison as a witness. And so Wong has got to use the teleporter to pull her out from a rave happening at 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't know where this is happening, but
Yeah.
it's
Where does she
happening at 10
live?
o'clock in the morning.
She's
They
already
show
drunk.
up, they go to court, and they technically lose.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're not going to tell him to stop using it. So that's the look on Wong's face when they lose the court hearing, and they're like, well, if you can't get a cease and desist sign, then you're out of luck.
I'm
So
not surprised. Their only witness was a drunk person who showed up because they brought her through a portal. She had a drink. She's like, you can finish that. I'm not sick. She's
Yeah.
drunk. Did they really expect to win?
Yeah. I really don't know.
Honestly.
Well, the other thing is too, when they lose, the first thing Wong does is go like, "Can I put him in the mirror realm? He might not die."
He might
So
not
I'm
die.
like, what? Why didn't you do that on your own?
Yeah.
Why are you talking to She-Hulk still? Like,
all right, so
yeah,
exactly. So we're gonna get into Madison real quick. Let's just deep dive into Madison, because when she testifies, she says something interesting. She goes up and talks about being put through the portal, and she was like, well, I made a pact with a demon that I cannot discuss. Otherwise, he said he would reap my soul and the souls of all I love. And she keeps doing the, And then the end credit scene, they show her signing a contract with what it appears to be Mephisto. One character arc of Madison, but also she's just like in the entire episode, because apparently she becomes like Wong's co-partner throughout the
Bestie.
entire best friend. So here you're having Wong watch The Last of Us, Madison with two N's, hanging out with Wong, watching TV. This is her, like, got her arm all over him. Of course, she's got a drink. This is her
Yeah.
at court. This is them talking during a movie at the end. So I
they're
guess
not
we're
just
gonna see the
talking.
Madison series coming up real soon, where she's gonna
Right?
be Mephisto.
They're not just
Yeah.
talking. She's
Well,
talking
we
about
also-
drinks. Like she's already
Yeah.
she's drunk and she's like, "Have you ever tried a Long Island iced tea?" She just keeps naming drinks. Have you tried just regular vodka straight? Have you ever tried
Yeah.
a blue whatever? He's like, "What's that?" I don't know. It's blue. Have you ever tried this? And then she's just like, "I want to try goat milk." I've never had like just drunk. She's just constantly drunk and talking about drinks. It's so
Yeah.
stupid.
And
Why
my
would
thing is,
Wong
like,
bring her into her house?
well, I was gonna say, I think Wong's just trying to smash too. I mean, that's the only thing I can figure. We know he's lonely, I mean, it's just weird. It just, like, I don't know. I know we're not supposed to take this seriously, but it's such a departure from everything we've seen in the MCU up until this point. And they do so many hints. And the thing is, you already know Marvel's going to try to say, like, oh no, this was totally canon, and see, we already introduced that in this show, but we also told you not to take it seriously. It's so weird.
So then midway through the show, with the court case, she didn't win. She decides to go on what they call Tinder, which is Matcher, which is literally the same thing. She's just like, dating in your 30s is bad. Like, I just want to date. I just got to, I feel alone. So she makes a profile, and
At work,
it's
by
not
the way.
working.
She makes the profile at work. How
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah, she has a to-do list, and she scrolls all the way down to the bottom of important things that she's supposed to do, and it says fill out your Matcher profile. So
yeah, which I didn't really pay much attention, but it kind of looks like she just threw a picture up there and then just did it. But I don't know.
yeah, they make
surprised
fun of her for using her profile picture from her job. Like, they're like,
she's
why
very
did you
proud
do
when
that?
she put it up there, though. She's just like, yeah, that's me.
Yep.
Because remember, she is her job. That is the only thing that she cares about is her job. So
Yeah.
this is related to her job. So she's just like, looks good. Yeah, Very proud. Very proud.
Yeah, so the weird thing is her friend then is like looking through her phone, goes like, yeah, there's the quote exactly, oof, hetero life is grim. Like, oh wow, could you imagine being straight and dating
know.
people? That's
While-
so
while-
cringe.
While
That's like
judging,
while judging.
her
Yeah.
friend's profile and
Yeah.
encouraging her to change into She-Hulk because people like She-Hulk a lot better.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like she's projecting a little bit. Like, I wouldn't date you if I was a dude, so maybe you should just become She-Hulk instead. It's just so weird, but it's also one of those things. Once again, like, yeah, like I get, you know, I have friends that aren't straight and stuff like that, and they make jokes and stuff. But like this show is constantly doing this weird thing of like this. Oh well, let's judge something that's like really normal in like in regular life and be like, that's stupid. You know, ha ha ha. Isn't that funny? Because we said it's stupid. Yeah, I don't know.
Her friend is literally like, your life is pathetic as Jen. You're
Yeah.
heterosexual. Your profile sucks. You're using your work photo. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And Steph is right. Change everything. Maybe you should just not be hetero either, because hetero life is grim. It's a grim life out there, you heterosexuals. Oof.
She gets one date.
Yeah, because Jen goes out on one date, not as She-Hulk. She gets one date.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It's terrible.
Like it's such a weird thing because like they're talking, the guy and her like talking, and obviously he's asking really stupid questions. But then like right in the middle of him talking to her, he just stops and starts looking at his phone and going, mm-hmm. Oh yeah, mm-hmm.
No, the reason he stops, it's not weird. It's very apparent why he stopped being interested in her.
He got another date.
It's because she told him that she was a lawyer, a high-powered job. I am a lawyer.
I didn't even catch that. I just thought
so he instinctively, and you know how I know, why I caught it? Because it's something that's been done in another show. Yeah, it was Sex in the City.
But didn't his phone go off with the same alert as like the Tinder alert? Didn't it go off?
I think it did, yeah.
Sex in the City did it. And like, what's her name? Miranda was going on like speed dating, and she kept telling people, I'm a lawyer. And men just weren't responding to it. And then she like made up this whole, I'm a flight attendant. So she pretended to be someone different too in order to land a date.
Wow.
20 forward, everyone. Well, she creates that She-Hulk profile and gets lots of interest, and she starts going out on dates. The first one, she goes out with the guy who's another bodybuilder, and he keeps asking bodybuilding questions. Like, what do you deadlift?
He wants to be in competition with her.
Yeah.
I can do 600 pounds. I'm not even a superhero.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
So she goes out with some interesting, weird men until she finally finds the one that she thinks is interested in him, because the guy's like, he's got all the right lines, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm assuming the writers of the show have been out on a date where they thought there was a guy that was perfect for them, who said the right things and ended up leaving them. So they decided to put this in the show, because the guy was like, I'm tired of talking about myself. Please, let's talk about you. And it was at that moment, this scene right here, when that guy used that line, She-Hulk looks at him and says, hey, let's get everything to go, because you're mine now. You're mine.
She nutted at the table right there. She was like, oh. And then he's like, you want to split some fries? And she's like,
oh my God, let's take him to go.
Let's
it's
take
all
him
about
to go.
me. Yes.
And that's the look that she gave him. She just stared at him like this and was like, this is my man. Sharon Fries wants to know about my day. She gets back to her home, and he accidentally spills wine on his shirt and takes his shirt off and goes to clean the couch. And she's just like, no, I'm ready to go. But in the meantime, Donnie Blaze has used the ring again and has brought little demons into this world. He then goes to Wong, and he's like, can you help me? I've made a mess of things. And Wong's like, all right, I'm going to help you. He goes, but call my attorney so she knows. So while she's at her date, Wong's trying to get in touch with She-Hulk, and finally he's fed up, and this happens. So right in the middle of her getting ready to get busy with her Tinder date, Wong interrupts and was like, I feel like I'm your mother. I need your help taking care of little demons. So She-Hulk looks at her date and was like, I'll be right back. Runs through the portal, beats some of them up. And then Wong opens up another portal where he's like, just throw the little demons in this portal. So she's doing that. But basically Wong could have done this all himself. He was like
Yeah.
rounding up most of them.
Well, my favorite.
She-Hulk then grabs. Sorry, Mike. She-Hulk then grabs this big one, goes to Donnie Blaze, and was like, "I'm gonna leave this guy here for you unless you signed a cease and desist order that you're not gonna use the ring anymore." And he says, "Okay." So now the case is over.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things that Wong does in the fight, like at the very end, just to clean it up, he creates a portal that starts sucking them all in.
Yes,
and it sucked all of like the whole room. And all he had to do at the beginning was do that, and they would have been all sucked in.
Yeah, he didn't even need to call her. He could have just done that.
The big ones start becoming big because of her. She starts hitting them, and they get bigger because she starts punching them. So Wong could have just sucked all the small ones, but he's like, "Nah, I need your help. I need you."
Well, they were able to keep it like, I guess, kid friendly because she starts stepping on them and they don't die.
Yeah,
they don't die. Like, she's like, "Oh, they don't die. They just get bigger every time you punch them." So
it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And like, I know we kind of like breezed past this, but like when Wong Wong shows up, it looks like they're about to kiss, but like there's no indication as to like that's where this was going. Her date, right?
Yeah.
Because he took his shirt off because he spilled wine on it. And then she like took his shirt and hid it from him. Because he came back and he's like, "Where's my shirt?"
He's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How dirty tactics right there.
Yeah.
So he's like kind of forced to just kind of like be with his tank top on.
Yeah.
Well, because She-Hulk was in the mood and she's going to get what she wanted. She comes back after defeating the demons and falls in the guy's lap. And then basically it was like,
of him.
Yeah,
like corners him.
While he's reading the book. Yeah.
Oh my God! While he's reading the feminist book.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's reading a book about feminism, and she just looks at him, removes some demon guts or whatever it is from her hair, and picks her up, and off they go.
Yeah, I never heard for a show that has its fans yelling about consent and just getting upset about consent, because of the show. I never heard him be like, "Oh, okay, it's fine." She just corners him because she lands on top of him and picks him up, and he's just like, "Oh."
The next morning, she wakes up and you see her as Jen, not She-Hulk, and she's making the couple breakfast.
She's so
and
happy.
She's doing all these things, and she's in like the long T-shirt, and the guy just shows up and from the bed. And she goes, "Hey, I made breakfast." And he just looks at her and was like, "Yeah, I'm going to go. That's cool."
Yeah. Well, first he goes like, "Who?" I think he says like, "Who are you?"
He says, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
She totally catfished him.
Yeah. No, she really did.
She catfished him.
It's like she took off her makeup and everybody's like, "Oh God." It's like, "What did you do?" Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's funny too because the date that she went on as Jen at one point, the guy that when he leaves, he gets up and like basically he looks at her to see if she's gonna pay for the drinks. She does, and then he goes like he gets on the phone immediately. Goes, "Yeah, she's like a 6," and then he walks away.
Yeah.
Like, so this dude's like immediately like, "Oh, geez." Yeah, and she's like, "I made breakfast." Like that. He goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna go."
I would leave too, right? No. I would leave too. He's expecting to wake up to She-Hulk, and it's like he's freaked out. He's like, "Oh shit!" Like, all right, I'm gonna go. Like he's freaked out. Like she carried him to bed like a little baby, and he was just like, "Oh, okay, I guess I gotta do it, right?" And like he wakes up and he's wanting or expecting to see She-Hulk. And she's just like, "Oh, I'm just Jen. It's me. This is me not being She-Hulk." I would be freaked out too if I went to bed with one person and I woke up with another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they showed the disgusting, disappointed look on Jen's face as the guy of her dreams, who she just met a few hours ago, just walks out. And then the only part of the show that moves it forward, this entire episode was a filler. It just had Wong going to court with another guy that uses magic. That's it. And then you show her dating and her sex positive and whatever they were trying to throw in here. That's all the show was. It does nothing for the show except for the last minute where she gets a summons from Titania that's suing her for her powers or something like that, or her name.
For her
Her
name,
name,
because
yeah.
For her
Titania
name, yeah, that's right.
trademarked her name.
Right. So she's being sued from Titania because of She-Hulk, the name. And that's it. That's the end of the show.
Yeah. It's such
And then
a
they go
nothing
back to
burger.
Wong and Madison watching a movie. I mean, but that's it. It does not. The whole show was a filler. It means
Yeah.
nothing. This was something that the writers wanted to put in. They're like, oh, they're gonna love it when She-Hulk starts dating. Yeah, and how men are bad, and how they only want one thing, and how like you can't find. And she said this multiple times. Like she looks in the camera multiple times. She's like, imagine dating in your 30s, which is just like. People date in their 30s all the time and they
Yeah.
find happy, loving people and everything is great. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like it just seems
Yeah.
like the writers and the women that put the show together are just projecting themselves on the screen
Yeah.
to make them feel better.
Absolutely. It's like she's like, imagine dating in your 30s. Oh, dating in your 30s is awful. You pick these people.
Yeah.
This is all you. You
Yeah.
are picking these people. You are making these decisions.
Yeah.
Like as even afterwards, when the guy's like, I'm gonna go, she makes it sound like, oh, it's his fault. It's his problem. It's like, no, you did this. This was your decision. You put yourself out there as She-Hulk. He's expecting to wake up to She-Hulk, and instead he woke up to Jen. Like, I get that you think I get that you know that they're the same person, but maybe he didn't. But
Yeah.
no,
This is
you
literally
make
me
it
watching the
sound
show.
like you make
Yeah.
it sound like it's his problem. Oh, he's bad because he didn't accept me as Jen. It's like, no, these are your decisions. These are her decisions. She's making these decisions. And like, she's blaming it on other people without and not taking any responsibility on herself. Like, she's making these poor decisions. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Not to mention, I mean, it's kind of hard to know how we would have reacted when she was She-Hulk because she just kind of like dragged him off to her lair. Like, what is he supposed to do? Say no to She-Hulk?
I know.
Like,
what are you supposed to do? You can't say no. Like, I would be. That's why he was just like, oh, yeah. What is he supposed to do? Say no.
Yeah.
It's incredibly intimidating. And yes, men can be intimidated, especially like physically. She's a superhero.
Yeah.
Not giving him very much choice. I mean, she's literally carrying him to the bedroom.
But you know what, Steph? That's just what men want anyway. So it was a good thing.
Yeah.
They don't want a loving relationship. There's no good men. There's no good fathers left in the world anymore. Nothing's good. Everything is bad. They only care about themselves, and this show is projecting real world problems for 30-year-old women.
Yeah. Yep.
Mike agrees with me.
God,
Like, it's
terrible.
dude, it's embarrassing, dude.
Oh, it's
so
awful. Yeah,
terrible.
it's completely embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest thing is because it's not very funny. Like,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a comedy, so I get that. So if it's like, all right, if it's funny and I'm like, ha ha, hee hee, I'm like, okay, I can roll with it.
Yeah.
But it's
That's the thing.
terrible, man. It's terrible.
Yeah, like the worst. There's nothing worse than a not funny comedian. There's nothing worse than an unfunny comedy. Like, and there's nothing else to redeem the show. I mean, it's just bad comedy. So
yeah.
On Twitter today, so many people were saying like, the only reason I'm watching this is because I want to see Daredevil. And you wait, Daredevil will show up at the very last episode in the end credit scene. That's it. That's it.
Probably, I bet.
Because she'll have her, her comic book She-Hulk uniform on, and he shows up at the end, and then that'll bleed into Daredevil where she'll make a cameo. And that'll be it. Just watch. That's what they're gonna do. And oh man, people are just gonna be like, like it's gonna be a wild one. It is. It is gonna be a wild one. Well, thank you, Steph and Mike, for putting yourself through pain and misery for the 4th time.
Yeah.
And we'll be back for the 5th time.
That's what this show is. It's pain and misery.
There's only a few more episodes left.
It's
such
a struggle to get through. It's such a struggle to get through.
I just wonder if they're gonna do a season 2.
Oh, I'm sure.
I hope not.